All right, Utilities Equipment Committee meeting to order. We have Bill, we have Phil, we have Harry, we have Pat and myself. Jeremy is speaker somewhere, and Chris.
Yep, and Deb also.
Yep, and Deb. And Deb, I know you weren't available last time we had a committee meeting. And but you know what, we kind of recommended at the time, and we took it to the board. And even before that board meeting, I had gone down to the site and looked at it, and I said, we can't sell this site the way it is. I mean, it was not graded anywhere near what the expectations would have been. And I don't want to get critical of anybody, but you really need something like a Bobcat instead of a guy with a rake. And I said, if we're going to sell this lot to anybody, it has to be presentable. We did send you the estimate that we got from K&S and Spencer here and what it's going to take to make that lot presentable. And more discussions on that project and how it went. Other board members, as we got into it a little more in depth on everything from the start of it, how the trucking company pretty much kicked the guy off his machine so he could load his trucks properly and the equipment that wasn't properly sized. I guess I'm looking for you to make a case on why we owe you anything more than what your original amount was.
Well, I got pictures. They sent pictures before they left, and it looked very nice. It was all smooth. The EMAT was down. I know there was one section they didn't do because your crew needed to do something there, but it looked very nice. And it looked nice. I got pictures of every area, and everything was coated real nice. It was flat with EMAT. We put extra seating down to make sure because it was shaded there.
It's
And
more near flat.
it,
So did we
and I
sink-
know
sink that
and I
much?
know and I know things settle. My thing is, if it was that bad after everybody went back and looked at it 2, 3 weeks later after it rained and stuff, why you didn't call and say something? We would have headed up there and fixed it. But I mean, sinking, I expect. I mean, there's a lot of fill in there. It's gonna sink.
Yeah, I'll say I did take some pictures. And to be quite honest, I looked at the pictures and I thought to myself, I really can't show these to the board because they don't look that bad. I think it was actually hard for me to get pictures out there to demonstrate this, the hummocks and the low spots because it just didn't photograph well. Um, but when you're out there and you're walking the site, it is still pretty rough.
Is
Um,
that in the areas where we put in all that fill?
it is, yeah. But I'll also say
Okay.
that most of the grass on the top of that didn't even germinate. So there's still, I mean, it's still mostly a bare spot right now.
And
All
also it's
right.
not,
So my question is, why didn't you call and tell me? Why is this all of a surprise? Why were we not notified? I can't fix something if I don't know. I mean, and I expected a call maybe a week or so later because it was probably going to settle. But we put a lot of fill in. We put top dirt on it. Um, I don't know what, I don't know what more I can do if I don't know. I mean, you can't bash me in a group and not let me fix it or even know.
Right. I think we did. I think that at least our crew especially got frustrated when you did come up to fix it because we did tell you that, hey, the site still needs some TLC. Um, because there was areas that didn't have any EMAT on them. and that didn't look like they were seeded. And then you sent up a guy in a pickup truck with a rake. And actually Mike, our guy, came out and helped with the toolcat to help remove rocks and help the guy as best he could that day. But Mike was like, this is not, this is not how you finish landscape by just sending up a guy with a rake to pick up a few rocks.
Okay. I was under I was under the impression that okay, so I wasn't in the meeting. So I was just told that we sent everybody back up there because they didn't smooth out all the topsoil well enough.
Sent
And
everybody back up.
they used a rake so that it wasn't packed, so that the seed would germinate, because you don't want it on packed ground. And I made them send me pictures, and I don't know, like you said, maybe you can't see it, but it looked fine in the pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
And I asked them, is there any highs or lows? Is there any debris, any rock? And they told me no. I myself, when I left that weekend, I drive heavy equipment over the road, so I didn't get back there because I was working. That's why I didn't get back. And I know in the last meeting you talked about that road was sloped and running water. We dug along that road, but we didn't dig up the road. So if it's slanted, that's not on me, I don't think. We filled that hole back in with that shale rock. And we did level that off, at least the 2 days I was there. I showed the guy how to level that off. And I told them not to park those containers. I didn't tell them to park them back by her driveway in the first place if they would have just listened to me. But when we tried to pull them, it was pulling the drive, so I stopped. But when they brought them back, they weren't supposed to put them there. But we smoothed that driveway out so she could get in there, and I put 12 cones around that hole. And that gentleman there was standing there when I did it. And I don't know, if you're dissatisfied, you should have said something, not not say something.
Well, Deb, I think we did because we asked that they come back to basically correct it because it was not done properly. And that's the time that, I don't know which person it was, but there was one man came up with a truck and that's all he had was a rake. And I was out there myself. I seen the mess that was there. And one of our employees, Mike, did come with the Bobcat, tried to, I mean, he could see this guy was just, I mean,
Struggling.
there's no way he was struggling. So that he was gonna help him out and try to, push some of the stumps yet, I mean, not stumps, but roots and stuff that were sticking up. Push some of that out of the way, some of the rocks, tried to smooth it down for him. He did that all from the east side to the west. And I think, Deb, if you could have been on that site yourself, I know that the pictures do not do it justice. If you would have seen how the lot is just like it's rolling, like the ocean coming in, you would not be satisfied with that yourself. I know you would,
Okay.
honestly. And
Yeah.
I that's one I think we did call you. We didn't call you after that point, I would imagine. Because I guess we felt you were done with the project. But in, from what I had seen, and then later on, some of the other board members did go over there and view it. We're not here just giving you a hard time because we want to pay you. We're telling you the truth. It is not a good job.
Okay.
And I know we probably should have called you again, but you know, everybody's busy. You are, we are, you know, and sometimes you just don't get things done exactly right.
Okay, so I wasn't I did not know you called back after he was there the last time because I was out on the road and I explicitly asked him if it was smooth, if there was any debris, and he said no, it was all smooth. There was 3 people there working on it the last time.
Was that Andy or who told you that, Andy or who?
Told me what?
That there was 3 people there finishing it up.
There was Greg, Katie, and Cody.
That's when you sent up the supposedly professional people that were going to do the landscaping. That was the first time that the 3 were there. And then that's
No,
the
that was
night-
the last time. That was the last time.
yeah, you better,
Andy,
you
Andy
better was
and
because
Greg.
that's the
I'm sorry, go
last,
ahead.
no, you're right. It was the last time because that's the same night. I don't know if he's your employee or not, but some guy got hit with the bucket, hit his head on the bucket. And then you got
Yeah,
this,
he walked
okay.
onto the site. He
Right.
shouldn't have
Now-
been there.
okay, now, the guy that came up with the rake came up after that time. After that time. So that was the time we called, said we were not satisfied. So you said, somebody sent this guy up with a rake. And that's after the 3 were there.
Oh, then I don't know. I
No,
didn't know that.
Honestly, that's the correct sequence.
Okay. No, I'm not disputing it. I'm just saying I did not know that.
Yes,
I thought the
know.
last time was Greg, Katie, and Cody. So then they sent him up after that.
Yeah, I I think the person that came up was one that you tried to hire for the summer to help him out a little bit. I think that's the guy that came up. I don't know his name.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, and that's the time, and at that point, when our employee, did try to help him out, try to smooth it up a little bit better, but I mean, it was not a good job.
It's not mobile yet.
No.
So
Not
so
mobile.
this was
No,
okay. How long after the 3 were there that he sent him up? Because like you said, that's where I got pictures, but like Chris said,
well, I
the
do.
pictures look fine, but apparently you got to be there. So
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, so I don't know. I'm at a loss here. I didn't know that they came up after that.
Oh, yeah, and you can check in there, but it is, you would not say, it looks good to me, believe me, we met last time.
Probably
We met
probably
last
not
time.
because I'm pretty fussy.
Yeah. And, we were trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt on some things that always seem to happen. And, I had mentioned, we should have probably done a better job marking or stating, don't break into that pipe, it's live. Everything else, and the gentleman that we had on, we were addressing that night, You know, he just said, no, that's not on you. But you know, when we said that the equipment wasn't the right size, you know, the staff probably wasn't the staff you'd put on there if you had to do it again. And the other board members, and we took it back to the full board and just said, this just did not go well from start to finish. And it really didn't, you know, and you're gonna get a crap job once in a while. I know, I've been in the contracting business for a lot of years. And the rest of the board just said, this was the landscaping part was kind of the last straw.
The guy that I sent up there I sent him there because he was certified in running the equipment.
Well, the equipment that he brought up, he might have been certified in, but it was not the right size equipment. I mean, even for the well itself, you know, it's good. I mean, we obviously work with a lot of contractors, street people, construction guys. You know, and we did call and say, are you sure you guys are good with this? Because everybody else had the same information you did. And so we had to ask the question, are you good with your price? The other guys are more local that we deal with a lot, and we know them well enough that the surprises that came up, like, well, I don't know if they would hit the live water line, but we wouldn't have just had these issues. So, you know, it's hard to get everybody to say, you know, yeah, we really should, you know, do something here.
All right, so what are you proposing to me?
The majority of the board right now is saying we're gonna pay you the contract amount that you signed for.
Okay. You don't want to pay any extra. Is that what you're saying?
Give me a thumbs up or down, guys.
Okay,
I do,
if
you
you
know, like
said
I said
something,
at the first meeting-
I lost
Okay,
you.
you know, I still go back to myself saying the live pipe is one thing that we should have been on the same page as you guys. Anything besides that one, I just can't see it. And so, you know, a day, you know, that sets you back, you know, I mean, am I looking, you know, at a day's labor and, you know, travel and, you know, for that, hitting that live pipe is one area where I see we gotta maybe, I feel we got some responsibility on. Everything else, it's pretty, you know, like I said, everybody's getting the same information. Nobody called back with any questions. They just were clear on it with what was sent. If we were in good communication with you at the start saying, don't hit that pipe, or, you know, that's live. That's what I personally, that's where I feel we may
Well,
have something
I
there.
agree with that.
Are we talking about the water line under the
Yeah.
building?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because my feed cuts in and out, so sometimes I don't catch everything.
So that's where
Okay,
I
so
feel
you're-
we
okay.
have some responsibility with you on that portion of the project.
Are we also gonna have to replace the neighbors' shrubs? Did them get damaged?
Okay,
They-
I asked about that, and they said that, and this was coming from Andy, he never hit any shrubs. He knocked over some big pot with a tomato plant in it and broke it, but he gave her $150 for it. But he said there was no shrubs and we never went past the shrubs.
Okay,
Okay.
It was tomato plants and lawn.
And lawn.
in-law is what got ripped up. And yes, your people did come over and talk to Lynn about it and give her a monetary offering in a card, and she did appreciate that.
But they fixed the lawn, correct? Did they put EMAT and seed down? They should have.
Well,
And
it
that
was
and it
all,
wasn't but her lawn ended at the shrubs and all and everything else was on the well side of the shrubs. We didn't go into her yard. We didn't go past the shrubs.
oh yeah, you can see where the backhoe tracks came right into, okay, let's put to the edge of her lawn. And because she had the tomato plants planted on her property line about. And it came over on the lawn. No shrubs were
Okay.
hurt.
And they tried to make good, so I do feel we got a day's worth that we can, in my opinion, I said, we gotta get agreement on the majority here, but I feel because of lack of communication on our part the first day, making sure everybody knew what that pipe was and that it was live. For us to at least compensate for a day's labor for the crew that was here that day.
And her cable line, nobody even knew that was there. I took pictures
Yeah,
of
they don't
all
mark
the
cable. I
markings.
get that. I get that. And we had one of our board members is a communication guy, and he says they don't mark it, so I get that part. I'm not arguing that at all. Okay, Deb?
Okay, I just know it was brought up in your last meeting because I watched the minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you would have seen Jeremy say, none of that ever gets marked. Well, then it's like, well, if you're not gonna mark it, then it's gonna get,
Yeah, they just come and fix it.
it's coming.
Yeah, they don't mark old copper lines anymore because they don't have to.
So they fix it.
Then-
No, that
then-
was not a,
And then they just come and fix it?
Yeah,
That sounds like that
No,
sounds
they don't
dumb.
even they don't even fix it because they abandoned. Those
Oh.
are basically abandoned.
No,
Straighten
that
out.
line wasn't. He had to redo it because the line that was marked for Spectrum was an orange line. We never touched it. It was we seen it. This was one that when the guys were digging for the sewer, we caught it and it was an old line and everybody just assumed it was nothing because it looked old. But then that's when she come out and said she didn't have any cable. So then that was the line and the dude came and put it in, but he didn't charge me because it wasn't marked. It was that old one right along the driveway or the road. That
Yeah,
black
I
cable.
thought I was under the impression they had a phone line, not a cable line. They won't fix phone lines, but they will fix cable lines.
yeah,
I don't know what it
think
was.
anybody had a big
It could have been.
problem.
I don't know. Is everybody's cable and phone and TVs all hooked together anymore? But I just know when she come out that one time, she said she didn't have. Yeah, she didn't have cable or phone. She didn't have
Yeah.
TV, and that's when they had snagged that black line.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question on the lines getting snagged.
Okay.
So that's I would not say anybody would have done the same thing on that. So we're not saying that was a bad part on you guys.
Okay.
either that or if you're still sitting on that 6,000, then deduct what it's gonna cost to repair that the right way. Give them the rest for their day.
Well, yeah.
That's fine.
Did you okay?
It was.
At 32.
I saw. It was
20,
32. So I
6.
saw the bill.
Deduct
Yeah.
that from the 6,000.
Okay.
Cause that was,
Which is they don't.
I forgot to bring, what, it was,
3220.
was 32. Okay,
3220, so we'll take that off of 6,000. We don't have everybody here, but we have the majority of the board here, so we take it back to the board. We have a majority on that agreement, right? Phil, Pat, Bill, myself.
I'd want to look at that day's pay,
What?
the day's pay that they lost because of our.
No, that's part of this.
That's part of
That's gonna
it.
be part of
Yeah,
it.
okay.
This is,
I guess that's the best we can do for you, Deb.
so it'd be 2780. Does that sound right?
Yep.
something like that.
Okay. That's fine. I wish I would have known more.
Oh yeah, jobs like this,
Uh,
everybody wish they could have gone back in time on this one.
Yeah, because I feel really bad because I don't like mistakes like that, and I found every one of you gentlemen to be great to work with. You were very easy to talk to when I was there those 2 days. So, I'm really sorry that this happened, and I wished I could have fixed it. So I guess
Well,
it's a learning curve on me that that somebody needs to be on site at all times.
I was just gonna say, you sound like you should definitely be the supervisor the next time.
you're too busy, Deb. That's your problem.
Yeah. I would love to come in off the road because I hate it, but it pays the bills. I'm too old to haul heavy equipment. I just became a grandma, and that's what I want to do.
There you
I
go.
hear that.
So yeah, it's really hard because I'm CFO, so I got to do payroll and everything out on the road, and it gets to be a lot sometimes.
It sounds like it.
So,
Right.
all right, I
Okay.
appreciate it. Yeah, all I can say is I'm really sorry that it turned out like this. It should not have.
No, everybody feels the
So-
same way. And unfortunately, that's just the way it rolls sometimes. Good luck on
Okay, so
everything else.
thank you. So, will this be? Do we have to go through another committee, or is it being approved?
It has to be voted on by the full board, and the next full board meeting is
October 13th.
October 13th. It will pass then, and you will be cut a check.
Okay, I need you to send it to a different address than the N30. I need it to send to my place.
You have Chris's email address?
I can send you an
Yeah, I
email,
do.
Deb, and you can let me know what changes. Right?
Okay, yeah, I have the one that I sent that I told you I had another committee meeting on. I can just send it to that one, right?
Yeah, yep, that's my email.
Okay, I'll just do that then.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Everyone have a good night.
Yeah, have a good evening.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Deb.
Deb.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Jeremy still
How do
there?
I leave? Oh, there we are.
Yeah, I'm there.
I can kick you out if you need me to, Deb.
I think I
There she goes.
I mean, it's still an open meeting. I wouldn't want to kick her out.
Well, I just felt maybe to get it over with, just subtract that from the 6 and,
Like I said, we have a little skin in the game.
yeah,
We really do. So,
I guess.
What was the second estimate that we had next last?
no,
29.
29.
And this is,
29 and then 31.
and this was 12.
Yeah,
Oh, see, that-
11-9,
Yeah,
see, that's part of what,
why Chris calls her,
Well,
asked her.
it's part of their fault for not coming up here and looking at it.
it didn't pay to beat on her over this, but it's not our fault they didn't bring a big enough back.
No,
And
That-
in the original, that would have been $7,000.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd have come up and,
It's not our fault.
they'd have come up there and looked at it, and like,
Yeah,
I think somebody said it before, I'm just repeating now that I think Chris said, when she did come up here, she was shocked to see the Spudnik sticking out of the roof.
I thought it was just a simple little building.
Yeah, how are you gonna handle this thing?
It's been taking a long time.
I'll hate myself. It's a Spudnik.
If it's still sitting over at First Choice.
Well, should we do the first part of minutes here?
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say, because I do feel bad that she feels like we didn't tell her, but it has also been a month since our last committee meeting, and nobody's come up to look at the site during that time.
Good point.
I mean, you know, if, not that
Well,
we,
no, from there.
yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we had the committee meeting, then we had the board meeting, and, you know, until now, we still haven't, no one came.
they said we,
You know.
they had a problem with what we did, let's go take a look at it.
I mean,
Let's see.
granted, the pictures, you know, if she's looking at those pictures and she thinks the pictures look good, you know, that's fine. But I mean,
Did everybody see the site?
I
Yeah.
drove past it.
I mean, I went, I just was
Yeah, that's-
shocked.
Well, yeah, you can't.
I go,
like,
are
if
you kidding me?
More, I think.
So, since we're talking about it, I have some questions.
Mhm.
How deep down did they go with that fill?
the-
Like, how deep was that?
I think the footings were like 8 feet deep on the building.
Okay, so is that gonna be a problem building a house?
I don't think so.
Well,
In what way?
you don't want house footings on
Old footings.
fill,
On disturbed soil,
yes,
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I
that
don't-
might be an issue,
well, it could be. One of the reasons that,
because if that was the case, we should have had them fill that with sand and compact it in layers.
sure.
And even that's not ideal, but
I guess
that might be a future issue.
yeah, I guess the biggest thing there is the well building is well off the center of the lot.
Okay,
So the well house itself actually sat in the
So you
northwest
could-
corner of the lot.
so you could maybe get away.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
that.
so
You wouldn't have to build over it.
correct, you're not with the house footings for sure.
At least
Yeah.
put the ground.
And the tank itself, which that was only 5 or 6 feet deep.
Okay.
Did come out front of the building, but
There
It's
was,
an observation.
no, I think that's valid, but one of the reasons why we weren't worried about it so much was because it was so remote from the center. of the
Well,
lot.
I kind of thought too, when they were working there, I didn't say anything, but I think they brought in too much fill.
I think so
Did they
too.
hump it up?
Yeah, it's
You know, it's like, I know they were worried about settling, I guess, but
Well,
that's what. where you
There
get
again,
all
they
this
didn't
Runoff.
there again, I don't think they had the right equipment.
Chris, do we have any other business on the agenda? Otherwise I have to get off.
just to approve the minutes.
So. Everybody take a look at the minutes from the previous meeting on August 26th. And are there any questions? If not, look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Bye, Jeremy.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, have a drink for me.
He's working. I don't think he's not.
Well, he does that for.
So there again. Closer or a skid steer
Mm-hmm.
to level that off. Would have been ideal.
Well, that's a minimum of it. At least have a skid steer if you're gonna
When I worked for Casey and Dennis, I hauled leaf limbers.
Yeah,
And I took a dozer and a backhoe everywhere.
yeah. You're
I'd have to
always
make 2 trips.
going from one pit to the next or.
Jobs. We were doing 120 basements a year back then.
Were you really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's Casey.
Okay.
Sounds like the guys that are up here working didn't have a lot of communication with her.
No, and when she goes, "Is it all good?" Yep.
Yeah, well, of course they're gonna say, yeah,
All right.
What
Sure.
else would they?
well,
Okay. I feel comfortable, like I said, I always felt that we had a little bit in there because the communication, our guys should have been very clear on a couple of things in there that were important, like that water line. Water line, gas line, we had the gas line figured. All right, nothing else, I'll look for motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
second.
Okay, we are.
Well. Take care of that.
Say something.
Yeah. You know,